Today we are going to begin in Alabama with one of the most eye-opening narratives to this point. We are investigating the Alabama State Capitol building, supposedly built in less than a year in the 1800s. But that isn't even close to the best part. What is hidden within this narrative will prove that our history classes have been lying to us all along. Welcome to episode 39 of my lunch break. I hope you're all having a great day, and if you're new, welcome. And I want to thank all of our sponsors over on Patreon. Thank you to FlatEarthDave.com. You can check out his app. I'll put the link in the description, and you can use my referral code, MLB. The app is awesome. It shows a lot of videos that are really hard to find. They've got them all in great playlists. He also has my lunch break on the homeschool section of the app, which is really cool. Thank you for that. Thank you to Maddie Kevs, Rebecca K, The Lady Lacey Show, Michael Hastings, Jason Brunson, Millicent, Christopher Arietta, Home Guard Goes Hard, Don Gaston, and Victor Perez. You guys are all awesome and helping this channel out a lot. And for $19.99 a month, you can also be a sponsor of this channel. I'll put that link right in the description below. Thank you. The original and very first Alabama State Capitol building was designed by Andrew Dexter, one of Montgomery's founders. In episode 35, we proved that the legal definition of founder is not constructed. It's literally finding a building. Legally. What else do we have here on this same screen? This episode just started, and we're already getting the nod. The first Montgomery Capitol building, destroyed by fire in 1849, which is the nod. That this is an old world building, but not even close to the craziest part of the story, which is definitely saying something. I love being able to see through the nonsense. Here we go. Remember, this is the 1800s. Can we construct a state capitol building in a year today? No. But in the 1800s, this was simple. Construction of the first Capitol building in Alabama began in 1846 and completed in December of 1847, which means that it was destroyed by a fire in less than 2 years. Can you see how insane this sounds? So in this insane timeline, we are in the year of 1849. Our brand new state capitol somehow burns down. Nobody has any clue how, and we don't need to talk about that, of course. We have no idea where these materials came from to construct it in a year. And we have no idea who built it or how many men. Apparently, this information doesn't matter because every single person in the 1800s were master builders and never made a single mistake. Having 6 composite columns and a bunch of other incredible features that you can read here, all built in less than a year and then gone to a fire. Remember, I don't believe that there was actually a fire. In my opinion, based on years of research, this is simply a nod to their group, that the current Capitol building is from the old world. Now let's continue. The first Capitol building burned to the ground, and the ruins were cleared up in a few short months. All gone and ready for a new Capitol building. Very easy. How long will this one take to build? Do we already have the designs ready? A construction team picked out? Do we know where the materials are going to come from? The logistics are simple 200 years ago. No, they weren't. This is unbelievable what we are reading. The current Capitol building was built from 1850, and in 1851, it was done. Do we remember what we just read? March 1850, they were still cleaning up the first one. Do you know what kind of planning needs to go into constructing a state capitol building? Why has this absolute nonsense been widely accepted for so long? And of course, these characters are from all over the place to explain these narratives. Going back to episode 38, where I showed how easy it is for ChatGPT to do this exact thing. This is a clear case of an AI-generated story. First, we are given Stephen Button from Philadelphia. Mr. Button just comes down to Alabama and knocks out a building in a year, and then gets out of town. Yeah, right. Then we are given Barachius Holt, all the way from Maine. So they come from all over the place. And Barachius was even better than the last guy, getting this one done even faster. Strange. The supposed second Capitol building also had 6 columns, just like the first one. Again, in my opinion, that is the same building. The pictures of the first one are not even real. Look at it. It's a drawing. This is classic fairy tale stories for adults. Once you know, You don't go back to thinking that some guy named Button built the state capitol in a year and then burns it down that night. And a new one goes up a week later. All because they know a guy in Maine. 1 year to build this. And wow, does that clock look out of place? What was there before? What might be behind that clock? I would love to know. And is it now time to move north into Ottawa, Canada? Because we have the Notre Dame Cathedral. That looks like it has some explaining to do. Okay, so the USA was established in 1776, and we have covered that in the last episode. Why, on the main page of this Notre Dame Cathedral, why are they telling us that the USA is trying to invade anyone in 1775? Whoops. This is already off to a bad start for them. Okay, so let's really get into this story and shred it. Remember, we are on their website. There should be no debate about this story. So let's begin. A new piece of land is given to the church in 1832. A small wooden church is built. Fine, they mention that it's small and not made of stone, granite, or marble like normal. I'll let it slide for being built in a year. Okay, they need a stone church 6 years later. And they mentioned that they want it built similar to the St. Patrick's Church in Quebec City in 1831, giving us another building to investigate. Thank you for that. So in 1841, construction begins. They get their cornerstone blessed. Sounds good so far. Building the new building around the old wooden chapel? Strange. So they need to move the wooden chapel to a new location on the other side of the street. What? Okay, so it's moved over there, and right after that, 4 years later, what do you know? It's burned to the ground by a fire. Of course it is. The nod that this is another old world building. Just needed to squeeze the fire story in there really quick. It's strange if you go on another website. We are told that it was only 2 years later. So who's lying? So to explain why the current church is so massive, here we go. We have a change of plans. The population is getting too big. Let's make this thing even bigger. And of course, that is approved. Why wouldn't it be approved in 1843? This is simple stuff 200 years ago, with horses and wagons. Very simple. Oh wait, what is this? Another change of plans, of course. This is no common style church. It will be a Gothic style. So in 1845, they changed that up to make it uncommon. A year later, the walls and the roof are completed. Nice of them to admit that they weren't working in the winter months, which nearly every other narrative ignores. In fact, this is actually the first time that I have read a narrative that actually acknowledges this. So please remember this for the future. When we see a narrative that tells us that they completed a building in less than 12 months when the temperatures are freezing. So in 1847, this thing is done. And I need to cover this because this is so ridiculous. In 1878, we are told that this guy designs this himself and calls on a team of craftsmen and carpenters and sculptors. The same men then worked on the Parliament buildings. Most of them men lived nearby. Whoa, most of them men. All right, so them men got the job done in the 1800s, no problem. So we are all aware of the Notre Dame Basilica in Paris that caught fire in 2019. But what's going on here gets really deep. So Ottawa has one too, which we just covered, with its own fire story. But so did Quebec, Canada. On December 22nd, 1922, it went up in flames as well. For the second time. This time getting the job done. The first time it was on fire was in 1759 in the Battle of Quebec. Are we not convinced yet that these buildings are from the old world? The mainstream narrative is not foundationally sound. Why are there massive holes that allow for these insane structures to be built with ridiculous narratives that do not give us factual evidence, such as where the materials came from? How many workers? Which school did they learn this incredible architecture work and construction? And why did they know how to do this all over the world? And why are we unable to reconstruct one of them today? Anywhere in the world. Oh yeah, and they last forever. And remember that fires do not burn stone. So someone must have destroyed this one in Quebec with more than a fire. And why are they telling us these lies? That there were a few badly singed stone walls. This is incredible. We are all aware that stone does not burn from fires now. These narratives are no longer acceptable. The lie is over. Now that we know we are being lied to, we can go deeper and find the truth. Don't forget that there are a bunch of brand new t-shirts. You can find that right below this video. Every purchase really helps support the channel and goes towards more boots on the ground work. Liking this video and commenting helps to share this video with new people, as well as when you subscribe to the channel. I couldn't be more thankful for all the support you guys give. Our Twitter account is up and running, and we are over on Rumble as well. Both of those links will be in the description below. If you have anything to add, or any thoughts on the video, or have any ideas for future videos, just put that in the comments below. Thank you all for your support, and I hope you all have a great day. I will be back very soon with much more. See ya.
Don't trust what you see. Don't listen to your senses. Trust what you are